Damn, hustling, 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 hustling,
It's
hustling,
your boy
hustling,
Ski.
hustling, 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 every.
Oh, welcome back to the Matrix. You're not just in the Matrix, you are the Matrix. How's it feel, Neo? And today we got ourselves a banger daily market news analysis. What is up? What is up? How's everyone feeling out of 10? Make sure you guys are spamming the like button, hitting the share so other people can spam that like button. Let's get this party started, y'all. Bitcoin is sitting at $93,000, and I can say, if we look on this at the 5 hour, there's a good possibility that we are further along than I even think. Because I knew that the spring was in, and people were giving me flack. They were saying like, oh, he was wishy-washy. Someone in the comments was like, oh, he was wishy-washy about it. He said the bottoming structure was forming and blah, blah, blah. So I posted it on my story. What really happened. And this is what really happened. Okay. When we were at the selling climax in the secondary test in phase B, I was saying that the bottoming structure was forming. We could get a spring. I didn't think that it was that likely or probable. But if we were to get a spring, it would come back to about 75K. That's what really happened. When we got the spring, I flipped on a dime and I said, the bottom's in, boys. That was the hook. I put it on my story just to repost the video from April 7th. I put in a long from that day. That long has been fully closed out. So we rode that long. I got in at $78,000. And we rode that all the way up to 92,000, and I think that's where it got closed out. And we are certainly looking, it looks like we're working on the sign of strength. Okay? Now, I thought yesterday, like, man, there's a chance that we get a test. There's a chance that we get the LPS. Looking at it, though, on the 5 hour chart instead of the daily chart, we'll see. I do believe we're going to come back. But at this point, we're on top of all of this now. So what does this become? This becomes support, right? So is it impossible for us to get below 85 again? No. But that's going to be a lot of support at this point. Okay? That's going to be a lot of support. Make no mistake about it. Okay? So I opened up a short. This is a temporary jab, if you will. I am very bullish in the macro because what this shows me, where we're at, the sign of strength, this tells me that the bottom structure is near the end, and this is a short-term jab that I'm making. I will sacrifice that trade and just rip right into phased E, which is the markup. But I do believe we're going to come back to probably about 85K. When I look at this on the 5 hour chart, though, I'm not going to label this just yet. So this to me was the spring right here for sure. There's a good possibility though that this was the test right here. And this right here was actually your LPS. And we're further along than what we even thought, or what I even thought. I thought the worst was behind us, but I think we're working on the SOS right now. There's a good possibility of that. Okay. I'm going to keep these in bold because these are already done for sure, right? I'm less confident that this is the LPS, not the test. I'm less confident of that. Either way, even if this is the SOS, we should expect a little bit of a pullback. But we would only come back textbook to the AR, the automatic reaction. So, which was over here. So, no, I don't know that this is the full SOS yet. We'll see. Either way, the worst of it is behind us. At worst case, we're going to come back and make a higher low. We'll see. I'm still open-minded to us. Like, this is just an overextended move from the spring because we were really oversold. We could still come back and get our test. That would be the most painful thing, to be honest. Which, what does the market like to do? It likes to do the most painful thing. I am very bullish, especially on the altcoins, because when we look at the Bitcoin dominance, like this thing is still, this is overbought at this point. And I'm looking at Bitcoin right now in the micro on the 5 hour. This is very overbought. This is starting to get red hot at this point. Okay, that doesn't mean like, you know, we're going to Hades, but it just means like a little bit of a back test of the prior range, I think could be in order. So we'll see. But things are looking very, very good. And this seems to be, my analysis is been pretty spot on. Not to toot my own horn, but we got to call a spade here. So there we go. That's where we're at. Will Bitcoin go down? Yes. Nothing goes up in a straight line forever. That's not real. Let's go. When can we say Altseason is coming? Been waiting for like 2 years. We need Bitcoin dominance to roll over. It just is keep. Now, I do believe too, just like accumulation, right? We talked about accumulation in the spring for Bitcoin. That to me, this is the reverse spring that Bitcoin dominance is working on. Okay. So the second that this starts to pull back, Ethereum finally waking up. Ethereum. I mean, I don't want to say it's broken out of this yet. Not quite, but damn, it's pretty damn close. As close as you can get. As close as you can get. Ethereum is the puzzle piece to like when the altcoins are going to wake up. 100x leverage times. It's never 100x leverage time. Do you think the back test will happen? Yes, I do. With the caveat. Here's the caveat. I have a short in right now. Right? I just put in a short before this live stream started. I put that on the in my Telegram. I just put a short on Bitcoin. This is a low margin, low leverage short. And it's just a short temporary stab at getting this little move. I'm very bullish right now, but I think that we will backtest. But here's, if I'm arguing against my trade, what I would say is, if I'm going to argue against my trade, Bitcoin has been, and the cryptocurrency market as a whole, has been so oversold and so repressed. It's boring, boring, and boring until it's not. I will gladly sacrifice that trade. Gladly. So that would be my devil's advocate against my trade that I just opened up before this live stream. I put in a short because I do think we'll, at a minimum, come back to 88,000, backtest the prior range. That's a very likelihood. Sick from biscuits is wild. Agreed. Hey guys, I'm the moderator for this session. Please be respectful and give some likes. Agreed. Nice to see ETH wake up. Yes, ETH is waking up. Me and Ski go back from junior school, and he was sick at my 8th birthday party after eating too many biscuits. I don't remember that. I don't remember any of that, bro. I'm not a biscuit eater like that, bro. I think you're telling tales. Can you look at Phantom Sonic, please? I got you. Caspa recap chart pumping out of double bottom. Very good. Yes, listen, I said I think Caspa has bottomed. It's pretty deep in there. Spring has sprung. The spring has sprung for sure. The question is, are we working on the SOS? Or is this an overextended? Listen, I'm going to put it plainly. Put it plainly for you. In my opinion, we are either here and about to get an LPS for Bitcoin, or we are here and about to get our BU LPS. One of those two is where we are at, in my opinion. This is phase E is after the SOS. What is phase E? The markup. What is the markup? We call it the bull run. Accumulation is just what we went through. And we're either here or we are here. Either way, in the grand scheme, we are at the end of accumulation. Okay? Plainly. Just plainly. We're either in phase D. I think we're in phase D. That's what I think. Of accumulation. That is it. There's only one more phase until you start the bull run. Okay? Plainly. Plain Jane. I said April 7th. Bottom's in, boys. Y'all didn't believe me. Hi, Ski. Daily. Bitcoin looks oversold. Could we pull back a little? I think so. Listen, I put in a short before this trade. I'm very bullish in the medium term, in the medium term, in the macro. In the very micro, we could pull back to 85, and that's going to be a good place to add to positions, in my opinion. If we pull back and altcoins hold, that could be the thing that we're waiting for. And people are going to say that that's impossible, but man, the altcoins have been beaten to a pulp during this time. I think that that is a high plausibility. Says, I'm not shorting. No way. Balls of steel. I had balls. It was the same thing. Balls of steel longing when Bitcoin was at 74. You know what I'm saying? Update on on-chain. I will message them. By the way, I am going camping. My trees have came in. Okay, I've been waiting months for my trees to come in. I ordered 20 trees. Apple trees, pear trees, apricots, plums, I believe, maple trees. We got them all on Ski's farm. So I got to go to the farm, and I'll be planting those trees and camping. So there you go. The market might be front running my camping trip. We'll see. Leroy Jenkins, what's up, bro? Dude, deep on Sui is over 100% on the day. Also looks lo-fi Sui chart. Please and thank you. I'll take a look. Thank you for the $2 donation, brother. I appreciate you. The cold wallet. Thank you, bro.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
He says, think gold is due for a pullback. Okay, let's talk about gold. So gold is down 1% today. In the world of cryptocurrency, that is nothing. Right? Nothing. 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 In the world of precious metals, that is massive. Okay? Now, I've already sold 30% of my gold. I do believe that gold has hit its buying climax. Very oversold. Overbought at this point, excuse me. At the macro, 2618. At the micro, 3618. So yes, I do believe that gold is extremely overbought at this point. But listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Gold does not move like crypto. We're not gonna see this rug pull or a crazy violent crash or none of that. In all reality, a gold crash is going to look like this. Like that's what we're looking for gold. That's what I expect from gold. So it's not going to be this crazy violent crash on gold, but when it gets boring and choppy and it is not in a just straight up vertical, that's when things are going to start to switch more into risk on. You think coins can 5x by May? I think that some coins will certainly 5x by May. AVAX and Polygon update. I like both of those. Did you say you put in a short? Yes, I wrote a long. I'll show you guys because y'all think I'm capping. Y'all think I'm just cap-a-lapping. Here, let me show you some of my trades. There we go. I rode my Bitcoin long from 78K to 91.2 is when it got closed out. VeChain, like y'all think I was cap-a-lapping. I had a crazy week this week. Okay, I was long everything. Everything. Okay, so the VeChain got to 90% actually. This ain't no like 100x. You see the leverage, 3x. I was long everything since April 7th. Even a little bit before then. I think that we're a little bit overbought at this point. It's a dangerous short. I'm not going to be shorting everything. I'm just making a temporary play. I will gladly sacrifice that trade. In my opinion. All right, what is up with... Are we good? Okay, cool. Not financial advice. Yeah, not financial advice, certainly. Yeah, man, listen. I think I have a pretty good read on Bitcoin right now. We'll see. I don't get everything right. Me and Bitcoin, we're like this. 2 peas in a pod. Two peas in a bod. Sell it all, Ski. ETH ain't gonna run into much resistance on the way up. More equipment for the farm. How much total did you make on all the trades? I doubled my account. I more than doubled my trading account over the last couple of weeks. And I wasn't doing anything crazy. Hey, Ski, any pullbacks from HL? Show us your Bitcoin short. I did. It's in the Telegram. Do you think we should long in your opinion? I've been longing for the last couple of weeks. The altcoins are super oversold and there's still a ton of value there. We'll see. Bitcoin to me, not as much value there. We'll see though. But I mean, it's very much oversold. We'll see. We'll see what the next move presents itself from. But this was the play right here in the 70s and 80s. I do think we'll come back to 88, 85. If we get a back test of the prior range, I'll be looking to add a position to the other way. The altcoins, I still think there's good value. Ethereum, I'm going to be waiting for a breakout back test. And I'll be looking to add positions on that. I am still long in a position on XRP. I would love to see a higher high here. That's what I would love to see. Mike, thank you for the tiny and the hearts, bro. You savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Are you having another Mario space this week? That's going to be next month. So there's going to be one per month for the next 3 months, I believe. They should be tweeting, though. I think they're going to do 8 more tweets and 2 more spaces. That is the deal. What price does ETH need to break to have a breakout. I mean, okay, so this price right here, you could say, but I never count wicks, right? Shakira, the hips don't lie, right? The wicks is an Allen Iverson crossover. Okay? So this is the price I want to see, but I want to see a daily body at 1750, 1800, somewhere in there. Daily body. So this right now, the daily body is 1660. Let's get the daily body out of there into the 1750s. We could say that that is a breakout. Ethereum is extremely oversold. There's a lot of projects that have been crushed because of Ethereum's bad performance. But we talked about this. It's on a critical level of support here. This trend line has been at play since 2018, excuse me. 2018. This has been a line of that Ethereum has honored. Okay, and we're here again. And we're finding support off of it again. It was extremely oversold. Look how red this was. Bullish divergence. Okay, now, I think minimum Ethereum gets to 3,000. Minimum. There's a good plausibility that it gets over 7,000, and there's a crazy scenario where it gets to 15,000. I'm not going to be trading like that, but I think that the ecosystem of Ethereum, even going to 3,000, Rose, Theta, Link, VeChain, their Flux, they're all going to feel the heat of that. When the sun rises, Bitcoin is looking sexy. I agree, brother. The spring has sprung. Does this pump invalidate the retest of the spring? No. And what I talked about yesterday, I've talked about this a few times. I've said it a few times, okay, that there is a place. And when I said we look on the 5 hour, you could talk me into saying that the test is already here. So this is where we could be at. When we look on the 5 hour, we might have a clearer picture of the full accumulation, and we're working on the SOS. So selling climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. That is, to me, hard stamped. All of phase A of Wyckoff accumulation is hard stamped. Markdown, selling climax, automatic reaction, secondary test. Yes, you could sketch that in stone, in my opinion. Phase B, you have your secondary test in phase B, goes lower than the selling climax, move to the upside, creek down. That too is hard pressed in stone. Secondary test in phase B goes lower than the selling climax, move to the upside, creek down. Hard stamp that in stone, right? Then you have the spring, goes lower than the secondary test in phase B. Hard stamp that in stone. Now, from here, this is where we start writing stuff in pencil. From phase A through C, spring, hard etched in stone. From here on, though, I'm going to write it in pencil. And what I talked about yesterday was, you could talk me into saying that the test has already happened on the 5 hour, not the daily. And if the test has already happened on the 5 hour, so here's the test. The test textbook would take you back to the secondary test in phase B. So that's about 78K, 77K. Where do we come back to? 76K. When we come over here, look, this is the same price. Okay? Same price. So this is, you could tell me, you could talk me into saying that this was the test. And if this is the test on the 5 hour, well, that means that this move right here, guess what? This is the LPS. This is pencil, not stone. And that means that this is the sign of strength. So I don't think that it invalidates it. It just means that we're ahead of where I thought. And that's what I said yesterday. I have a hard, clear picture that the spring is in. All of this is true. Where I have less of a clear picture is, are we going to get the test or not? right now it looks like we're most likely already working on the SOS, which would still put us at a BU and sort of chop a little bit before starting phase E, which is the actual bull run. ETF inflows are starting to pick up as well. Beautiful. Hey, Ski, what's up, fam? Sure. I'm long on ETH for 7,000. VeChain. If Bitcoin closes above 93K, what does that mean? It means the SOS. Do you think we should still long, in your opinion? Yeah, I already answered that. Could you check out Brett? So technically we should pull back to support 85-ish. I agree. Yeah, 85, 80K. Either way we go. Even if we're getting the LPS. If we haven't got the LPS would take us back into this. Listen, all this right here, I'm gonna put it clearly for you and plainly. This was all resistance. All of this. 85K. Guess what this now is? Is support. This whole time, Bitcoin was chopping, could not get above this range. We are now above it. Do you know what that means? This is now support. This has been a clear flip and a clear breakout. Everyone was talking out of both sides of their mouth, and they were saying, 4-year cycle is over. 4-year cycle's over. See you in 4 years. No. It does not work that way. I do think that we'll probably come back 88, 85, somewhere in there as a test of the prior range. That would be textbook. Everyone's talking out of both sides of the mouth. And listen, I keep talking about this. Structure right here. If the 4-year cycle is really over, that means we are deep in accumulation. Deep in accumulation. AKA, we're right here, in my opinion. This break out of the FTX collapse. We could get a back test of the prior range. That would be textbook. But I think it's only higher lows for Bitcoin. Should I sell my altcoins, take some profit, buy back after the... I don't know. Depends on where you're at, bro. Says we broke structure. Let's go. Not. What do you... Cash chart. Yeah, I think Cash is bottom. Yeah, this is a clear break of structure, for sure. Clear downtrend. We had a clear downtrend on Bitcoin, and we have clearly broken out of that. This is a clear breakout. Also, you had clear Wyckoff accumulation happening, especially on the 5-hour. This looks like a very clear picture on the 5-hour chart. Okay. Why is it going up so much? Because, Jake, because it has been beaten down and oversold for a long time. Everyone just thinks it's just going to go down forever. It's going to be sideways forever. That is not the case. That's not going to be. It's not going to be that. Wife's boyfriend had a panic attack. Hey, bro, you bullish on Rose at all? Seems like it's still a pretty good entry. Yes, I am bullish on Rose. Rose has been beaten to a pulp because of Ethereum's performance. There's a whole list of coins that I'm putting in a category of like Ethereum's lackluster performance. There have been some bystanders. Rose, Theta. What else? Rose, Theta, Flux. There's a whole list of coins that have been beaten to a pulp as an innocent bystander of Ethereum's lackluster performance. And I talked about this a few days ago. Ethereum was at 5-year support. What did we say? Ethereum dominance. At the 5-year low. What did I say like 2 weeks ago? I said this means one of two things. It means one of two things. Either A, Ethereum is going to bounce. Or B, Ethereum is actually properly dead. And what did I say? My bet is Ethereum's going to bounce minimum to $3,000. That is what I said. Dan, thank you for the tiny diny, bro. Or the roses.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Not Sonic. Sonic is my number one 100x play. Hey, man, what do you... outperform the market by all regards. To the upside and to the downside. Period. The last... Quant, I would put on that list. Joe, thank you for the goat.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Somebody... Ardrum, hey man, what do you think of DMTRs? Jesus. Ardrum, Rose is moving, is it? Let's take a look at Rose. I mean, again, Rose to me was an innocent bystander of Ethereum. Thank you for the camping, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Bro, you're spot on. Thank you, Joe. I don't bat 1,000. I get things wrong. But I have a damn good track record. 9 times in my content career, I've said that the bottom was in. 8 times I was correct on the day. 9, let me say that again. 9 times I have said that the bottom is in. 8 times I was correct on the day. 1 time I was wrong. Let's take a look at Rose, because I'm curious about Rose. I do think it's a good value. It was an innocent bystander of Ethereum's lackluster performance. Are you still planning on Sonic stablecoin? Yes, we are still developing that. We have a team of developers at the range again. So if Ethereum breaks out, I think that Rose will as well. It has not quite broken out yet. Let's get to 3 cents. I would classify that as a breakout. Thoughts on Ethereum according to Bitcoin Dominance. So we just looked at Ethereum Dominance. And okay, let's do the reverse of this. Let me show you where I think that we're at for Bitcoin Dominance. So we've been charting this for the last couple of weeks. I don't know who's been following me. I just posted I posted a video on my story. The video was from April 7th. Well, I said, the bottom's in, boys. April 7th, Bitcoin was $74,400. Okay? I'm not saying that to toot my horn, but what I'm saying is this is the structure that we've been tracking for a while now. Okay? And the structure is accumulation. Class, turn to page 37 on your textbook. There's a pop quiz. Pop quiz. This is going on your final. You understand? All right? So this was the spring. April 7th was our spring. This is a bottoming structure. And why do I tell you that? Selling climax. Secondary test goes lower than the selling climax. Spring goes lower than the secondary test in phase B. This is textbook. It's going to be on your test. All right? It's on your pop quiz. Now, the reason that I tell you this about Bitcoin, because this is what we had for Bitcoin, which is why I knew it was a bottoming structure. Listen, I'm not going in hindsight. April 7th, I made the video on the day, and I went long on the day. Don't accuse me of cherry picking and be like, oh, he's doing it in hindsight. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. So look, selling climax, secondary test in phase B, textbook goes lower. Then you have your spring, textbook goes lower again. This is your bottoming structure, right? So what is the reverse of accumulation is distribution. Okay? This is your topping structure. In my opinion, Bitcoin Dominance is on the UTAD right now. That is the reverse of a spring. Okay, and the spring is the absolute lowest that you go. It's the absolute depths of despair. It's the absolute worst of the worst. The UTAD is the opposite of that, right? And I want to show you. Buying climax, automatic reaction. Secondary test, SOW. The UT goes higher than the buying climax. Textbook. The UT goes higher than the buying climax. The buying climax is the climax of buying. The top. But the UT goes higher. The UTAD goes higher, textbook, than the UT, which goes higher than the buying climax. Now, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Okay? Stay with me now. This is going to be on the test. Buying climax. This is Bitcoin dominance now. Joe, thanks for becoming a member, bro.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
Buying climax. Automatic reaction, secondary test. UT goes higher than the buying climax. Textbook. UTAD goes higher than the up thrust. Okay? I don't know when this is going to stop exactly, but this is working on the last move right now. What we need to see is a lower low to come in for confirmation. The hell? But in my opinion, this is the reverse of Bitcoin spring, which has already coming in. Okay? So this is what that means for Ethereum. Bring it all back full circle. What does this mean for Ethereum and altcoins? We are near the end. I'm not saying tomorrow. I'm not saying next week. I don't know how long this is going to take to play out, but structurally, this is working on the finality of it, in my opinion. Oh my God. There's somebody. There's a. I don't know. Hold on. Okay, we're good. Bro, I shorted Uni at 5.23. Do you think I have a chance to get some money back? I don't know, bro. I didn't like it back then. Also, in conclusion, Altseason is coming. Yes. Okay, here I've made many streams about the perfect storm. The perfect storm that is playing right now. What is the perfect storm? Now, what we need, too, we need Bitcoin to continue to rise. We need Bitcoin to continue to rise. Not like on the every single day. That's not what I mean. This is macro structure now. Macro structure. Over the next few months, few weeks, we want Bitcoin to rise into the 100Ks. And eventually, we want Bitcoin dominance to start to fall. That is the recipe. Okay? So in my opinion, Bitcoin has fully worked on accumulation. Accumulation is very near done, meaning the bottoming structure is done for Bitcoin. That is number one. Bitcoin dominance is working on the topping structure. That is stipulation number two. So these things are very good ingredients. Sugar, spice, everything nice. Okay? These are the ingredients to create the Powerpuff Girls. But ingredient X is the DXY is falling off a cliff. Okay, and we talked about this. I expected a little bit of a bounce from the DXY, but look, all of this is now going to be resistance. I think we're going to bounce off of this and make a lower low. So that's ingredient number three. Bitcoin bottoming structure, Bitcoin dominance, topping structure, DXY falling off a cliff. This is a good thing for crypto. Ingredient number four, gold. Absolutely parabolic. This trades against Bitcoin and the stock market typically. But I think that this is the buying climax. Okay? Now, I'm not predicting that gold is going to fall off a cliff or anything like that. I think it's going to be sideways, but that's going to be enough to rotate into risk on. At the same time that all of this is happening, ingredient number five, ETH Dominance is at a 5-year low. Okay, this is a perfect storm that is all happening, everything, everywhere, all at the same time. While all of this is happening, ingredient X, China's M2 money supply, all-time high. ingredient number 6. While all this is happening, ingredient number 7, the United States M2 has just made an all-time high today. So now, this perfect storm, I'm not predicting it's going to be tomorrow or next week. But the ingredients are there. Something very good is brewing. Come on now. Y'all lost faith. Who lost faith? Bitcoin dominance is higher than it's been in a long time. Ski, are you saying 78K is still possible? It's still possible. It's less likely, for sure. Less likely. XRP. We'll look at XRP. I like XRP. I have a long in XRP right now. Why is Bitcoin the only one really moving? Because, listen. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. Excuse me. Okay, so we talk about people talking out of both sides of their mouth, right? And this is the structure from 2021, 2022, and then this is 2023. And we know. All of this from FTX collapsing until we got to like 80K was all about Bitcoin. All about Bitcoin. All right. So if we're saying that this right here, this structure of the 2021 rounded top distribution is the same as what we had from November to January. This is your markdown. This is your accumulation. This is basically Luna going to 0 and then FTX going to 0. Who just went to 0, by the way? OM. That's what we're saying. From here to here was all about Bitcoin. The altcoins moved, but it was mostly Bitcoin. Bro, so alts just did 10 to 17% today. That's moving. I ain't gonna lie. I want Bitcoin to come to 78K one more time. I can buy one more and go. Don't you need volume to confirm Wyckoff method? Bitcoin dominance doesn't have volume. To confirm it, yes. That is textbook. Hold on Chainlink. Yeah, I like Chainlink here. When alts start moving 200 to 300%. Listen, bro. That will happen. But that's not what we should be chasing. I just doubled my trading account this week by going for 20% moves. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, you don't need to have... You don't need to wake up and have a 500% move in a day. Dynex still could hit $3. Yes. All right, let's look at XRP. I like XRP right here. I have questions about XRP. All right, so listen. Here's the deal with XRP. This to me is your selling climax. This to me is your secondary test. Right here, selling climax. Right here, secondary test. We could get a spring for XRP. That is on the table. It looks like we're making a higher high at this point, and we've already had a higher low. I think that the market generally has bottomed. So here's the I'm gonna play out of both sides of my hand, because the truth is XRP has mixed signals. The positive, I think that the market has bottomed, and I think that XRP is working on its bottoming structure as well. If the market has bottomed, in all likelihood, you're not going to get a spring. In all likelihood, you're going to go back to $3 pretty soon, right? So that's the positive. The negative signals that XRP is giving right now, and the things that I have concern about, and or opportunities that could present themselves. XRP has been following this fractal since 2013, or excuse me, 2023. Okay? I have not moved this for months. Years. I have not moved this. At some point, it will break out of that. My bet is it's going to be doing it now. But it would not shock me if it continues to follow it. If it continues to follow it, it's going to take all of this back and come back to $1. That's a good opportunity for me. I will definitely be adding to my spot position on XRP if that opportunity presents itself. If the opportunity presents itself at $1, I will be adding to my spot position because I've sold 40% at $3.33. Den says, dude, we are surging. The spring has sprung. The spring has sprung. Link and Ondo are both solid. I like Link a little bit better. Ondo has a little bit too much inflation for me, but I do think that Ondo has... Imagine being patient, right? Imagine. If you don't know how to trade, that's what you want. Timothy says, if you don't know how to trade, that's what you want for. What are you talking about, bro? Will you be able to tell the timing of when to roll over from coin to coin if we disclose list? Can Hehe still reach 21 cents? Yes, I think Hehe's up 50% today. You think XRP to 10,000? No. Not in my lifetime, not in the dollar's lifetime. What's Bitcoin's top resistance? 100K is going to be resistance for sure. That's a psychological and a mathematical resistance. I buy XRP at $1 all day. You say that now, SOB. But I bet it's not going to feel good to buy it at $1. You know what I'm saying? So have your plan. Like, I have my plan now. I'm telling you guys now. I told you guys at 50 cents that I would be selling at $3.33. I told you at 50 cents when I was buying XRP. I'm telling you now. It is. Listen, we're going to clip this for later. It is April 22nd, 2025. As of the time of recording, XRP is at $2.22. There is a scenario, if it continues to follow the fractal, it will go back to $1. If the opportunity presents itself and we go back to $1, I will be adding to my spot position on XRP. There! Clip it. If not, oh well. I've made lots of money on XRP. I am good. I made a lot of money spot trading XRP. Leverage trading XRP is... I've had some of my biggest wins of all time and some of my biggest losses of all time. I do way better trading leverage trading Bitcoin. All top for XRP. My prediction for XRP is $5 to $8 is the medium case scenario. It could go to $12. It's less likely. I will be selling aggressively at $5 and $8. I still have a big spot position in XRP. What is Uni at right now? Do you consider volume on your analysis? I do. Especially with Wyckoff. Uni. Listen, bro, I'm going to be honest. I didn't like... I told you that I was longing on Uni. I remember saying that. Yeah, bro. I think that this is the spring for... I think that the spring is in for Uni. That's what I think. I don't personally think we're going to go back to that price. No. Crow coin price prediction. Okay. I just made a video today talking about VeChain ADA. All right, class. Turn to page 76 on your textbook. This will be on the quiz. Uni, by the way, same chart. Let's do 4. 4 score and 7 years ago. This is why I really like Uni, and I didn't love the short. I didn't want to be like, you know what I mean? I said do whatever your rank can handle. That's what I said. All right, we're going to do 4. So on the top, let's do Uni. On the second one, let's do ADA. On the third one, you could do Dogecoin. That's fine. You could replace this with VeChain. You could. There's a lot of coins that have the same chart. It doesn't really matter. I don't care about the coins. Okay? I do not care about the coins. I want you to pay attention to structure. Structure is what we're talking about here. Okay? Structure is what we're talking about. This is what we're teaching right now. All right, so this is the... All right. Master class, take notes. This is going to be on the quiz. Master class, take notes. This will be on the quiz. Class, turn your textbooks to page 76 and follow along. All right, so on the bottom is Bitcoin from 2013 through 2017. The third chart is Dogecoin, 2021 through present day. All these are 2021 through present day. The second one, is ADA. The top one is Uni. Okay, they all have the exact structure, the exact same setup, but Bitcoin gives us the keys. Bitcoin gives us the keys as to how this structure plays out. So Bitcoin has already had this same structure, okay? And what is the structure? Mark down, mark down, mark down, mark down. Okay, you have your selling climax, secondary test. All that is true. Sign of strength is right here. I'm going to circle the sign of strength for you. Sign of strength right here. I have the SOS, this is the SOS. Okay? Back test of the prior range, back test of the prior range, back test of the prior range, back test of the prior range. Okay? Move to the upside that goes higher than the SOS, higher than the SOS, higher than the SOS, higher than the SOS. Back test again. Back test again. Cha-cha real smooth now. Cha-cha again. Okay? Bitcoin's was very violent, the back test. Okay? And then you start grueling up higher lows and higher highs. In my opinion, Doge is starting to work on that. ADA is starting to work on that. Uni is starting to work out on that. VeChain is starting. There's a whole lot of coins that look exactly like this. Okay? And here is the end of the story. Okay, that is the end of the story. The story is not over. Here's the end of the story. I can't even get you the full pit. You can't even see the SOS no more. Come on now. Come on now. Here's the secret. 70 to 80% of the market looks exactly like all of these structures right now. We detected inactivity. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Oh, God. Select 2 objects. Listen. TikTok's making me... This is a math quiz that I was not studying for. Hold on. Let me cook now. 2 objects that are the same shape. I'm so scared. Is it 2? Someone help me. Help me, Lord. Please. Okay, we're good. I didn't study for that test. Oh, Lord. I did not study. I was not ready. Okay? We're good. All right. Cass, I think Cass is bottom. Cass has a beautiful structure. All right, we're going to switch to... We went way longer than we normally do. Look at these scammers on Facebook. Bro. All right. We're going to switch to members only on TikTok. This is for my protection. I'm not trying to gatekeep. Make sure you guys drop a follow. I'm still live on YouTube. Drop that follow. Don't just lurk. Drop a follow. I'll put my track record against anybody. Period. We also keep us informed about sell times. Yes, everything I do, I'm not gonna gatekeep it. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm doing. That doesn't mean I'm always gonna be right. I will get things wrong. I promise you, I'll get things wrong. I promise you, I will. But I have a damn good track record, and I'm pretty good at risk management, which is the name of the game. Being stoic, unemotional, having a plan, sticking to your plan. That is the game. It's not about predicting. It's about preparing for what the market may bring to you. Do you understand? All right. Let's take a look at Cass. I do think that Cass has bottomed. And pretty good structure. I've been saying that for a while. 5.5 cents is what I thought the bottom was. Oh, this looks really good. This looks like the sign of strength as well. This is a clear break of the downtrend now. HB, thank you for the squirrels, bro.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
How's the homestead? Wally, I'm going there. I'm going up to the farm tomorrow, actually. All of my trees came in, and I'm going to be planting them. So this is a clear break of the downtrend for Caspa. This is already out of the 236. This looks very good. Expect a back test. That would be the opportunity back to about 8.2 cents. But yeah, okay. Selling climax, secondary test in phase B goes lower. I don't think you're going to get a spring on this one because it's already out of this range. So retracement is 15 cents. Take that to the bank. Literally take it to the bank. Literally laugh all the way to the bank. And then parabolic is 44 to 60 plus cents. I like CASP. I think CASP was bottomed. When would you sell to repay the loan if the purchase was made using a loan at Bitcoin 78K? I don't know. What is your interest on that? Cast retrace is 15 cents. I don't know. Bro, if you want to sit down and do a consultation, we could do that. That sounds like a more personal thing. ADA and Link thoughts. ADA and Link have the structure that I'm looking for. I think they're about to perform very, very well. Swift, please. FTC. Okay, this went parabolic, still making higher low structures. By the way, this has the same thing too, right? Accumulation, move to the higher, parabolic. I'm going to say that this Fibonacci is done. It's below the 236. I think it's decent value. Retracement is 3 cents. Parabolic, 11 cents. When staking, I'm going to talk with it should be in the next couple of weeks. Very far along in that. So very excited to bring, Solnic is coming out with staking very soon. You're going to be able to stake your Solnic and earn APY on that. So that is very, very soon. I'm excited for that. Ski ZBCN tanked today because they got delisted from BitThumb. How do you feel about the chart, though? I don't mind the chart, Mikey, but we talked about this yesterday, I believe. From what I understand, there's a lot of inflation on that coin. That is not a good thing. Not a good thing. There's lots of scammers on Facebook right now, it looks like. KV, thanks for the s'mores.
But the cream
And the hot
rise
dogs.
to the top, oh yeah.
What do I think about RSR? Dude, RSR has the same chart too. Okay, look, this is the same as ADA. This is the same as Link. This is the same as VeChain, Doge. This is a very good looking chart. Now, I don't know about their inflation, so let's make sure on that real quick before we go further. But that chart is very good. Let's see. Okay, about double. So I would expect a retracement. I would definitely be de-risking at retracement levels, which is about 6 cents. You think your top coins can 3x by May? A lot of them will, yes. What's up, Skeezy? The Solna community, what's on the horizon? We got the staking coming out very soon. We have more podcasts with Mario. He's going to be tweeting 8 more times over the next 3 months. We have the stable coin. We're still working on that. All of the things we're still working on. The documentary, the book is coming out very soon. KV, thanks for the hot dog and the tiny diny. Cali XT, thanks for the goat and the lightning, you savage.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
I like LCX a lot right here. AIOZ, I believe there's some inflation on that. I'm not sure. Let me look at AIOZ. No, this looks pretty good. Past inflation. Okay, so I'm going to put AIOZ in the same category as HBAR, as Jasmine, as Dent. Past inflation. The inflation is done, though. So maybe not great performer right now, perhaps. But moving forward, this should perform very well as most of the inflation is done. You're not going to be fighting supply from here on out. Okay, and this looks like a bottoming structure. We talked about this gap. This gap got filled. I haven't looked at AIOZ in a minute. I have these 2 lines here because there was a gap here, and I said it's going to get filled. It got filled. This is a bottoming structure. Retracement, 82 cents. I would consider profit there. This is yes, I believe that AIOZ is working on its bottoming structure as well. Parabolic would take you to $2.40. Will Solnic have Salome go away watermark attached to it? I don't think so. BZ, Solnic has outperformed the entire market. It's outperformed all the meme coins. It's no longer even a meme coin. Upside and downside, not just the upside gains, but the downside protection. Like literally, not being funny here. Like compare it to some of the others, okay? Lots of crap was talked, but you see I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm still standing. Yeah. Okay, listen, you didn't come for my singing, I know. All right. Someone at DNX. Has DNX broken the downtrend yet? It's getting there. Yes. Very much. Retracement, 68 cents. Parabolic, $3.50. Jasmine and inflation. What do you mean by that, Wally? Wally. Take a look at the Sonic chart. Listen, I mean, again, like, I've been talking about this, and I'm going to keep talking about it, but, like, I get it. There's nothing that I can do to prove to you that I am who I say that I am. There's no amount of talk that I can prove that to you, that I am who I say I am. I got that. I understand. But time will continue. And I will keep doing what I say that I'm going to do. And we will keep doing it. And I will keep outlasting. I will keep moving forward. I will keep putting my best foot forward. I will keep putting my nose in the mud. Just like my entire career. When all hope is lost, I will not lose hope. I will not lose faith. I will not quit moving forward. Okay, I get it. There's nothing I can say that can prove that to you, but this is the yearly chart. This is from January of 2024 until present day. Every bottom has more than doubled the last. We're not even talking about the growth from the upside. The bottoms have doubled. I still have my bet. Eli says you've been proving it since 2022. I'm not perfect. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to have slip-ups. But I'm going to keep failing forward. You don't think Bitcoin retests from here? I do think Bitcoin retests from here. Yes, I have a short in Bitcoin right now. Yes, the inflation on Jasmine is done past tense, but there was a lot from 2022 till 2024, right? It's mostly done, though. So you're not going to be fighting the inflation on Jasmine in the future, but you are going to fight it a little bit for this bull market, especially if you bought it in 2021. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, nobody works harder than me, period. I'm going to keep doing that for Sonic for the next 10 years. If y'all believe in life paths, I am a pioneer. I'm a 5. Lead the way. Pave the way that does not exist. That's what we're going to do with Sonic. If y'all believe in genome makeups, I am a generator. You know what that means? It just means you just effing work. Just work and work and work and work. Nothing special, nothing fancy. Hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. So there you go. You think ICP can hit 20 by May? I think that's plausible. I have a long in ICP right now. Thoughts on PolyX? Excuse me. They might, listen, I was blessed to be 5'6". Do you know why? Because I was fast and I was strong. And this is something that has just stuck with me forever. Because if God would have made me 6 foot, it would have made me too, like, relying on my talent. But I wasn't the fastest, I wasn't the strongest, and I definitely wasn't the biggest. But I just had this mentality, like, they are not going to outwork me. They might be faster, they might be bigger, they might be stronger. They are not going to outwork me. They're not going to beat me because of a lack of effort. And that has stuck with me through my military career. It was the same thing. They might be smarter. They might have more skills. They might have all of this and that. They're not going to outwork me. And that has led right into Sonic. All this other projects. They might have more capital. They might have more developers. They might have all of these things. They're not going to outwork me. Period. All right. PolyX. This looks like a bottoming structure. Selling climax secondary test. It has not quite got the sign of strength yet. It already retraced. 50 cents. Parabolic 170. What sport did you play? I played a lot of sports. I ran track. I played football. I was the best at weightlifting, to be honest. I went to state for weightlifting. So, powerlifting. And I wrestled as well. So I wrestled, I ran track, I did weightlifting, and I played football. Those were the main sports I played. I played baseball until high school, but I stopped playing baseball in high school. But I was the best at weightlifting, and my favorite was football. I went to state my senior year for weightlifting. I broke all my school records. And I really only got good at weightlifting because of football. Because if you were on the football team, you had to try out for the weightlifting team, and whoever the strongest was for each weight class, that's who competed for the school. And I figured out, I'm like, oh, I'm good at this. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to take this seriously. Can I stake 3 million Sonic? You should be able to. Eli says, I don't want to be 6 foot. Being short made me far more motivated. Same here. Same here, bro. Sorry, I missed what you think about ICP can hit 20 by May. That is plausible. I have a long in ICP right now. Does staking create more inflation? No. No, because people, it's going to be a slashing method. I'm going to put up some of my supply, is what's going to happen. I'm going to put up some of my supply, and then there's going to be a slashing method. So it's going to be locked. What that means is it's going to be locked. And let's say you lock it up for 90 days. If you dishonor your commitment agreement and you take it out 89 or 1 day in, that's fine, but you're going to pay a penalty, and the penalty is going to go to the pool. So you're going to get all your rewards when you're supposed to unstake it. And so anybody who is impatient is going to pay the inflation for everyone else. But it will start with my own supply. IMX is pumping. That's how that's going to work. But there's 939 million. That is it. Looking pretty good. It's at the bottom structure here. I wouldn't say that this is quite a break of a downtrend. If we can get above 72, that would be really good. Raven coin price prediction. Did you say you trade on BitUnex? Yes, the link should be in my description. Jody, you can use my link and get some free crypto if you want to support the channel. I like trading with BitUnex. How safe is staking? You just need to make sure it's the right address, the right contract. I'll have it for the contracts and stuff like that. Valid questions, fair questions. All right, guys. I'm gonna go watch the Lakers. The Lakers. I'm going camping tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to do the stream. We had the schedule for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That might get moved around a little bit, but I will be back on Sunday, and then we'll be back to the normal schedule from there. Lakers in 5. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I'll still be uploading. I will be live. I might just be live on my phone. We'll see how it pans out. It's going to be a little bit flexible for this week. I'll put it out on the Telegram and Twitter, and I'll put it out on TikTok what times I'm going to be live. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Peace, love, prosperity. God first. God bless.